Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we will learn about things to consider or key points to consider in complexity calculations. So it helps us to simplify any bigger expression to smaller one. So separately we will find that our calculation gives a bigger expression which is hard to remember. How to simplify that? So there are some key things which you need to consider, and using them we can simplify any bigger expression to smaller one. So one is consider the variables only. Why we need to consider the variables only? This is that in time complexity or space complexity, the variables are unknown. It can change based on your input parameter. So your rate of growth in either in time or space will heavily depend on the variable part. That's why first point is consider the variables only. Then second one is you can ignore the constants. Whenever there you will find there is mixed set of expression where there is variables and constant. Then you can ignore the constants and consider the variables. Third is you can ignore the lower value of variable. Let's say in the same expression you have two different values of the same variable, then ignore the lower one, and this thing will help us to simplify any complex expression to simple expression. Okay, let's not talk about that order of n or n square, those things. Those things we will discuss later. And let's think that I have got one expression for this time complexity or space complexity, and the expression tells that n plus 100. As it tells that you can ignore the constants. So if we ignore this constant 100, so expression will be equivalent to n. So n plus 100 is equivalent to n. Similarly, let's say you find is 2n. 2 is a constant. So 2n is equivalent to n. And here if we see, we are only considering the variables. First point is already there. And can ignore the lower value of variables. Let's say if we get n square plus n. N square is bigger than n. Or in that case you can ignore this n. You can only tell it's equivalent to n square. Let's say your n value became 10. So what will the n square plus n value? N square plus n will be 10 the square, then 10 is equal to 110. And here we are telling it is equivalent to 10 square, means 100. So here we are ignoring the lower value of variables. If you have two variables, one is of higher range, then you can ignore the lower one. Similarly, if you find n factorial plus n, you can consider that as n factorial. So similarly, you will find when you will find that the expression is even bigger, then you can simplify that to give a simple expression. And why simple one? Because that will be easier to remember, and also it fulfills most of our requirement. So these three are key points which helps us to simplify any complex expression. And in our next videos we will learn about that adopt that time complexity of space complexity, that O of n or constant, those things, what are those, we'll learn. And here only we are talking about the expressions, not how they are calculated. Thank you.